name is Dee Dee Chesley. I am the incoming board president for Christopher House. We are a not-for-profit early childhood and charter school in the city of Chicago. At Christopher House, we have a very competent CEO who's been there for, I think she's been there for about 17 years, and she is a master at hiring talented, top talent. We have anywhere from classroom assistants to master teachers to now a principal, people that understand early childhood and can manage that piece of it, and some of our other programs as well, including this family support piece. So I think that, our job as a board is to have, that sort of high bar for our CEO that she meets each and every time, but that also changes with our strategic plan. So every 3 or 4 years, we come up with a new strategic plan, and that's where we get our power. That's where we know where we're going. That's our roadmap, and we're in the process of doing that now. And so what sets us apart is that we have a model of a continuum of care. So instead of it being that you go to, at 6 weeks old when your parents need to go to work, that you go to one place, and then when you're 3 years old, you go to another place, and then when you're 5 years old, you go to kindergarten. And instead, from 6 weeks old until 8th grade, you can stay at Christopher House. And I think that's what makes us unique. We really feel as though we can use data, which is a very important part of Christopher House, to make sure, and measures to make sure that what we're saying is what we're doing. And we're not just relying upon anecdotal evidence, we're using data to make sure that we understand that. And I think the other thing that sets us apart at Christopher House is how collaborative we are. Many years ago, we started a benchmarking collaboration with other social service organizations to share best practices, to share data, and to sort of work together to understand, maybe Christopher House is doing something really well, but we're struggling in a different area, whereas another organization that we're collaborating with has an answer for that. So we're very proud of that benchmarking collaborative. We've been honored for that work. And so I would say, the emphasis on data sets us apart at Christopher House, making sure that we hold ourselves accountable, every single person. The families are involved in that as well. They set their own goals for themselves and for their children. And this collaboration is a big piece of it, and then the continuum of care. I think the biggest challenge in the field of early childhood, especially, which is what Christopher House started out as, is funding. Like many things, how do you get enough money to help low-income families to have quality care and education? And so that's done by a variety of methods, private philanthropy, foundations, but also we get money from the government. So that would be in the form of the federal government, state, and local. And so the challenge is all of those funding streams have their own requirements for reporting back, as well as eligibility. And so there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that you have enough for every family, and then trying to determine eligibility, and then making sure that every year that those come up, those opportunities for government funding, that you win those, and that you're able to continue to keep your doors open, because it does present a challenge. I think one of the great things about Christopher House now is that because we now also have a charter school, so our idea is to start at birth and go until 8th grade instead of just kindergarten, that we're able to at least get the funding that most people get for K through 12 education, which is more set